Are you a local business owner looking to optimize your Google business profile so that you can drive more calls to your business? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I was able to do this for my clients and help them generate thousands of calls and get hundreds of leads from their Google business profile with zero ads. And the best part about this is we were able to bring in an additional $30 million in sales just from this alone. Before I jump into the video, I'm going to show you the actual results so you can see that this stuff works. And then I'll walk you through step by step exactly what you need to do in order so that you can produce the same outcome. So let's jump into it. All right. So with this first client, so just so you know, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to keep who my clients are anonymized because I don't want anybody going from YouTube to contact my clients. In this first case study, what I'm going to show you is you can see that from this Google business profile, we were able to get around 1,253 Google business profile interactions, which just basically means that people interacted with it, clicked on it, called and so on and so forth. And each of those are weighted in different ways. The number of calls that they were actually able to get from, those interactions was around 360 phone calls within that time period. And they also were able to get 611 people from their Google business profile to their website, which also landed in additional or contributed to additional calls to their website. In the next case study, you could see this other client, they were able to get 2,168 business profile interactions, which landed them around 1,235 phone calls and ultimately 552 clicks from their Google business profile to their website, which contributed to more phone calls as well. And then this last client was able to get around 2,823 Google business profile interactions, which allowed them to receive around 1,410 Google business profile phone calls from this period, and then an additional 1,070 visits to their website from their Google business profile. So this stuff works. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this step by step so you can accomplish the same results for your business. Just keep watching. All right, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is use a website like Point to Homes to figure out more information on the specific area that you want to serve. Because one thing I will tell you is if you are trying to get leads, you need to, before you even start trying to optimize on the internet, you need to make sure that your business is in the right location. And if you've already, you already have a location, a physical address for your business, and you can't change it right now, then that's fine. But for the purpose of this video, I want to make sure that everyone who is about to do this understands this crucial thing, because it doesn't matter how much you optimize your Google business profile if you're not located in a place where, number one, people can afford your services. Number two, it's catered to the type of service that you have. Because, for example, maybe you're a hairstylist who wants to serve a specific area and you don't even know if that area is mostly men or women, right? Like these are things that you need to know in order to determine if it's the right fit for you. And also you need to know the average income and so on and so forth. So do some research into figuring out if where your business is located is the best place for your business to be located from an opportunity standpoint, right? And then once you do that, then you'll verify your business if you haven't already. But if you haven't and you don't have a location yet, you should be doing this research first. And then like if you want to expand in the future, like let's say you've already claimed your business listing, you're already in the space that you're at and you don't plan on moving. In the future, when you expand your business, it's still good for you to know this, because then you know that you need to get Google business profiles in these other areas so that you can maximize the return on your investment, as you're doing this stuff, right? So what I like about this website, I just have, as an example, I have Center City pulled up in Philadelphia, which is a specific area in Philly. And I also have the far Northeast. So you could like kind of compare and contrast the differences between these two. But what you can see off the bat is, what percentage of the population is male versus female. You can see the change and how that's growing or declining over time. And you can also see things like what percentage of jobs are white collar versus blue collar. You can see things such as, what, number of households and stuff like that. But you can also see the average household income, right? And the median household income, which will tell you whether or not people have money in this area and they can afford what you have if, for whatever reason you sell a higher ticket item, right? And so like use a website like this to gather that information again before you start anything, right? Because if you have this data, this is crucial. Okay, I run a hair business, right? I'm just making this up. Majority of people from the Northeast, there's 50%, 50% of the population is females, right? Are females. And when I scroll down, I see, well, their average household income is about $93,000 a year, right? And obviously, household means two people, so you do the math on that. But if I'm selling K tips, they can likely afford what I have to sell. So maybe I need to put my business in this particular part of Philly. And where I decide to put it, right, I'll do more research into that and obviously cross reference. This is just one website, but you can look at multiple websites to cross reference this data. But you have to do this first, or you should do this first. So that's the first thing. That's step one. All right, step two. The next thing you want to do is you want to log into your Google Business profile and make sure that you select your primary category. But before I talk about selecting your primary category, I just want to make sure that you know how to navigate to this. So the first thing that you need to do is log into whatever account that you have. And once you log into that account that your Google Business profile is on, type in my business. And when you type in my business, you'll see the list of businesses that you have. You'll click on view profile. And after you click on view profile, the stuff that you need to see regarding your business will come up, right? So in this case, what we want to do, because we're about to, optimize the primary category, is click edit profile. And when you go to edit profile, what you will see is, a category, or Google might prompt you to fill out your primary category if you haven't done this already, right? But what you're going to want to make sure that you do is that you make it as accurate as a category that describes what it is that you do, right? So, for example, I offer internet marketing services. Cool, I put that there. But also, you want to be able to add anything else under the sun around your business. If you don't know what your primary category is because for whatever reason Google doesn't have it because your business might be unique or probably new to the market, then what I would do is go look at your competitors to audit what business category they're using that you can leverage. The other thing is that you need to make sure that you're adding in additional categories. So in this instance, I could use something like marketing agency or marketing consultant, which this will, accurately describe what I do. You should try to add as much additional categories as possible that revolve around your business, but also it's okay to take a look at your competitors to see what they're using so that you know exactly what you need to add in order to get the same success. If you can find patterns that the top three people who are ranking in the Google Maps pack are using the same stuff, then you should also replicate the success because that's how algorithms work, right? So you're probably wondering how I do that. So you look at, you look for a marketing agency near you, or not marketing agency near you. Look for whatever the keyword is that you're trying to rank for. So maybe it's roofing contractor near me, right? And once you find it, you download a plugin called Phantom GMB Audit Tool, and you can use this to look at what categories they're using, right? And you can see, if there's any differences or what the commonalities are, and you can leverage that information for your own Google Business profile and enter in that here. So this is very important. Make sure you select the right primary category and make sure that you have the right additional categories that describe what your business does when you're doing this. Right. The next thing you want to do is that you want to make sure your Google Business profile contains a keyword in it, right? So here's the thing. You need to be able to, you need to do this. You need to make sure that your Google Business profile contains a keyword. However, if you already have a Google Business account and it's already created and it's already verified, I will say that one caveat of doing this is that you could potentially get unverified because Google might think that you're trying to game their algorithm. But if you make it look natural, in many cases, they won't do that. And if they do continue to do that, then you'll need to get a DBA to leverage this hack. So you kind of got to take that at your own risk. But if you want to drive more leads, a huge ranking factor is making sure that you know what what your keyword is, and then trying to figure out a way to naturally include it in your business name. So, for example, I'm a internet marketer, right? And I offer search engine optimization. So maybe a keyword, like I would do keyword research to identify what keyword to include in here, right? But I could say, because I have a lot of experience with understanding how people search and what people might be looking for, I would just say something along the lines of, Drayshawn Consulting Marketing Agency, right? Now, I'm not going to save that because I don't want this to get banned. And it might not. I mean, I don't use it, so I'll just do it. right? So Drishon Consulting Marketing Agency, you know, again, there's a risk of if you do this and Google thinks that, I mean, obviously it looks like I'm trying to stuff a keyword in here, right? If Google thinks that I'm trying to stuff a keyword in here, then they might suspend my listing and then I have to go through a whole process of getting it re-verified and stuff like that. So that's why you have to make it sound as natural as possible so you don't get suspended. However, again, this is a huge, huge ranking factor. So definitely do it if you can. And if you are just building out your Google business profile for the first time, then you should be fine. Like just make sure that when you're building it out, you include a keyword. This step is going to be pretty straightforward and straight to the point. You want to make sure that you have a website link in your Google business profile in general. And the next step, we're going to talk about this a little bit more in depth and the additional things that you can do with this to increase your chances of ranking, because there are way more secrets and way more things that you can do in order to get the results that you want. An additional thing to consider if you're trying to rank your Google business profile is using what is called an exact match domain on a specific service. So, although I don't have a specific example to show you right now, I will say that I have seen this working, and it's not something that I've done yet, but it's something that I am starting to roll out for a lot of my clients because I see it working so well. I've seen so many Google business profiles that rank because they are super niche and they also specifically target an exact match domain. Meaning, if you're a personal injury attorney that offers car accidents in a specific area, or car accident services, like car accident consultations or whatever the case may be, right? Um, in a specific area, like let's say you're in Los Angeles, then you would make a video, you would not make a video, you would make your domain car accident attorney in Los Angeles. And you would make a Google business profile specifically for that and optimize for that keyword. And I've seen businesses ranking these Google business profiles with no reviews just because of how niche and specific it is. So here's one thing that you should take into account. If you have a website that already exists, right? Then I would not suggest doing this unless your website is a brand new domain that you just bought and this is something that you can do right from the beginning, then you should do it. If your website has already existed for a decent amount of time and you already have content and stuff like that on it, I would not suggest doing this even though it is a huge ranking factor. But the reason why I wouldn't is because you would essentially reset the authority on your website. And you don't want to do that because that can hinder you more than help you, right? And so if you have a website that already exists and you want to take this approach, then I would say buy another property, aka domain, and leverage that and also create a separate Google business profile for that as well and see how it works. But I can tell you right now that that's a huge ranking factor. It's working. I've seen, again, businesses that's doing this, that they are ranking above people with so many reviews, which reviews are a big ranking signal. But because they are niched and focused on a specific service, Google prioritizes them because Google is always going to prioritize what's going to be most relevant to the searcher's pain point. And if you are, let's say you're the only car accident attorney let's say you're a car accident attorney in Los Angeles that focuses on that, you have a Google is going to automatically assume that you are the best business for them to go to because you're niche down and you're focused on that, right? As well as if you optimize your page and you add testimonials and stuff like that, that also impacts your Google business profile. So a lot of people think that the only things that matter are the things that you do on your Google business profile, but that's actually not true. You also have to optimize your website in order to get the performance that you want from your Google business profile. And you would just include that right here. All right. The next thing that you need to do is you need to get reviews. So getting reviews is one of the biggest ranking factors when it comes to the Google business profile. As you can see, I have a pretty decent amount of reviews, but some of these are old. I mean, a lot of them are old because we are too busy helping our clients get reviews. And so, what you want to do is you want to get as many reviews as possible. Not only because this helps from a human aspect, like when users are looking for your business and they find your business, they see how many reviews you have, and then they'll likely choose you over someone else. But also, you want to get reviews because of the fact that the more reviews that you get, the more engagement you get, and the more engagement you get, the more Google sees it as a positive signal, and then it helps to boost your visibility in your respective area, right? And so another thing that you should consider is if you are getting reviews, if possible, if your clients write out your reviews, you can tell them to include the keywords that you want to rank for in your review, right? And to make it sound natural as possible. They're not going to understand what keywords are, but at the end of the day, if they can say something along the lines of, let's say, for example, you're a roofing contractor and they say, hey, we had a fantastic time with Jim, the roofing contractor, right? I mean, that doesn't really look natural, but like Jim is an awesome roofing contractor. I'm so happy that I hired him. If they say something like that, the fact that the word roofing contractor is being mentioned in the review will heighten your chance of being able to rank for roofing contractor. And another thing is when you're getting these reviews, you also need to respond to all of them. And when you respond to all of them, you need to say, something that sounds genuine, for the most part, right? But also, let's say you get a negative review, because this is something that a lot of people ask, like, what if I got a negative review? That's totally fine. In that case, what you need to do is do not ignore it. Make sure you respond to it, and respond to it in a way that shows that you actually care about whether or not the customer was satisfied with their experience, and that you want to prioritize them. Because if people are reading your reviews and they see that you have negative reviews, and they see that you made an effort to try to compensate for whatever poor experience that person might have thought that they experienced, they are going to think that you guys are the type of people that when you make a mistake or when somebody doesn't enjoy the experience, that you try to go above and beyond to fix it. And that's more of a reputation play than anything else, right? And so you want to make sure that you're always getting your brand in the best spotlight possible in order to, maximize the efficiency and effectiveness of any type of marketing campaign. The next step of this video is pretty straightforward. You need to add photos to your Google Business profile. So you're just going to go to your Google Business profile and you're going to click on photos and you're going to add images. What I would recommend is making sure that you add more images than what your competitors have, and also making sure that all of your images are not stock photos. Now, there's additional things that you need to do. You should also add videos too, by the way, but there's additional things that you need to do before you add your images, which I'm going to show you right now. One of the first things that you need to do is geotag your images. This helps Google from a ranking perspective because it basically gives Google the coordinates on the images of where the photo was taken and so on and so forth, which builds up more contextual relevance to the location. I already have the image that I'm gonna, optimize. So I'm just gonna show you what I would do. So the first thing that you have to do is take this image and then you wanna upload it on this website, and then just search for whatever address you're located at. Let's just go with this, and then what you're gonna do is click write exif tag. It's gonna tag the photo, and then you download it. After you download it, you're going to open this up, and then you're going to put this in this photo compression tool, right? So I'm gonna upload it here just to make sure that it's 100% optimized and compressed, and then you're gonna download this again, and then you're gonna rename it, to whatever. Like in this case, I don't have to, but if you don't have a good name, rename it. Make sure that it contains your keyword, and then you upload it, and that's it. All right. An additional thing that you're going to need to do with your Google Business profile is to make sure that you're adding products, even if you're a service-based business. So you need to have, images that you can create and add here, and then you would type in whatever the service is. So let's say, for example, I was doing one for SEO. So we would name this SEO. We could call it search engine optimization. We could categorize it as, marketing. We can create a product description. I'm not going to do that. You should though, absolutely. And then you would link to, the URL on your website that corresponds with, this product service name. And as far as like an image, you want to make sure that it looks like, you want to put some thought into how you create something. So I'll give you guys an example. Let's just look up, I think Morgan and Morgan does this. We do this for all of our clients, but you can see, I mean, these images are pretty terrible, but this is how they would show up, right? So you want to make sure that you're filling this out and you're creating images that can go right here, and obviously make them related to your service, right? So when you click on it, like if somebody pulls up your Google Business profile and they click on it, they can see exactly what you do. and they can see the description of what it is and then go to the website, right? And so that's essentially how that would look here. I'm just not gonna fill it all this out right now because then I would have to make the image and that would take forever because I would actually want to do a good job like I would do if I was doing it for you. So yeah, fill this out, make sure you get it down, add a product description, link to the corresponding URL, and you should be good here. Here's the thing that's good to know. If you go into your Google business profile, right, and you set your hours to be open 24/7, then this actually also will boost your rankings in the Google business profile. But I would only suggest doing this if you can actually take calls 24/7 or you have some type of intaker. Do not do this if you can't, because number one, it's going to piss people off. People are going to leave negative reviews, and then it's going to make your overall performance of your Google business profile go down because other people are going to see the comments that people or reviews that people are leaving, and they're not going to want to work with you. So you should know that as well. All right, and the next thing I'm going to talk about when it comes to optimizing your Google business profile is making sure that you add posts regularly. Now, posts aren't necessarily a ranking factor, but Google wants to constantly see that your profile is engaging and is active. So it's something that you just do because it shows that there's content freshness. So you're gonna come in here, you're gonna add an update, and then you'll create a photo, you'll add it here, and then you add a description. That description is what your content will be about. It can be about 1,500 words. Just to show you a demonstration of this, I'll just use Morgan and Morgan again, so you can see right here. Just pull it back up. You can see right here. This is what their posts look like. Obviously, if I was doing this, it would be a little bit different. I like this one. This one is too zoomed out. Nobody can read what this says. But yeah, it just talks about, who they are and what they do. Now, the only thing that I would do differently here is I would just keep making posts like this. So posts that talk about the successes that you've been able to have, because you want to use this ultimately as a way to convince people to contact you, right? Um, some people like to give a variety, but I don't think you should give a variety. It should just literally be about the results and the things that you can do for people. And that's it. The last thing you need to know about optimizing your Google business profile is making sure that you are answering any Q&As. So Q&As are a specific feature on the Google business profile where customers can come ask you a question and you just want to answer them. Now, this is a ranking factor. The more, targeted the question is, or the more you can change your keyword, the easier it will be for you to rank. Only thing is, you don't want to try to do this yourself. If you want to do this yourself, there's a whole bunch of things that you got to know about how to do this correctly. Because if you're asking the question on the same account and answering it from the same account, or asking it on another account and then answering it on your account, if you're not doing it right, Google will know that you're trying to like gamify their algorithm, and ultimately you will be impacted negatively. So that's it for this video. Again, my name is Dre. If you've enjoyed this, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if you want help generating an additional $30 million in revenue for your business, like I've done for my clients, hit me up. Let's get on a free strategy call. One thing I will say is that obviously that's not guaranteed, right? Because I don't know your business or what you sell or how high ticket it is and so on and so forth. But what I can say is if you want to get an additional, 100 calls a month to your business, contact me and we can talk and I'll walk through everything. If you felt like you've already implemented all this stuff and you're not getting the results that you want, let's figure it out together. Thanks a lot again, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.